Changing the Toyota Tacoma homemade homelink. I'm going red. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. And that's right, today I am changing my homemade homelink for the Toyota Tacoma. I'm changing the color of the button. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, my Tacoma did not come with homelink, so I came up with my own solution and put my own homelink system in. But I've decided to change the color setup in my truck, and this orange button here just doesn't fit in anymore. Not exactly sure. I guess I put orange in for a couple reasons. One, because that was the theme of the truck, and two, because it was easy to see. But now I'm going to pull this panel out, disconnect it, and we're going to go red. I'll show you how to do that. I'll also link a video down below showing how I actually put my homemade homelink in the Toyota Tacoma. But let's take a trip over here to the workbench, my work area, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about in the way of buttons. Right here, these are what they are. They're momentary switches. And that is simply what they are. You push the button, you let go, and it activates whatever you're trying to activate for a moment. Now, the way they work, they have a little nut on the back. They go into a hole, they tighten down, just like any other switch. And then a couple of terminals that you solder to whatever it is you're trying to control. I'll show you how I'm going to do that, disconnect it, and switch out the switch. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this panel because unfortunately you can't get the switch out except from behind. Now, to do that, you just kind of start on an edge and pull it out. It's held in like much of everything else on the truck with little push or friction fasteners, nubs, whatever you want to call them. So you want to try to get an edge, and my tools are getting kind of worn. They're not as sharp as they used to be. But you want to grab an edge and start to pry this piece out. Now be careful, you don't want to break anything, obviously. There you heard a pop, that's always a good sound. A pop, not a crack. And then I'm going to try to just grab it with my finger on the edge, see if I can pull it. Probably not, it's in there pretty firmly. So, let's see here. Okay, I think we're making progress. There you go, and it just pops out like that. Now, the way I have it in there, you can see the wiring, I think, right up there. Here are the wires that go to the switch itself. What I'm gonna do is just cut the wire and then pull the switch out. I just have it taped. This is a pretty simple connection, so you don't need anything soldered or anything. Just taping it up is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's held on in the back by these little squeeze pins, if you will. So you just squeeze them together and then pull the switch through. Okay, we've got the switch out. Just clip the wires, push these together, and pulled it out. Now underneath is a nut. Getting that off and on used to be kind of complicated, but fortunately Toyota in this particular blank switch, and that's what it was just a blank cover, I guess. I drilled a hole in it, that's how I put this in. Again, there'll be a link down below if you want to see how I did it, but something that's pretty handy, this is a 14 millimeter nut, and a 14 millimeter socket, at least the ones I have, will fit down in there. Because how do you tighten that once you get it in? You can't put your fingers down there to hold it, right? But you can slip the wires through, and then the socket will grab the nut underneath like so, and then you can just turn it off. How handy is that? A stroke of luck, actually. And there is the nut, if you will. Now, we've got the soldering iron burning a hole in my workbench. So I'm going to go ahead, get some solder set up. We're going to go ahead and solder a couple wires on here and then move on. Okay, here we go. We're all set up, and I am not the best solderer out there, so that'll make it even more interesting. But we've got the iron. Hopefully I don't burn myself, which I have done. Let's get the solder flowing a little bit here. Let's see. My soldering iron, I think, has seen better days. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's actually going to work. That's good. And you want to be sure you don't melt your switch, which I'll admit I have done before. So there you go, you get the idea. Just get a little bit of solder on there. I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up, and then we'll work on getting it back in the truck. I've got it soldered up. Again, I am not the best solderer in the world, but hey, all you have to do is make contact and make sure the wires don't come off. And that's what I've done. Now, let's go ahead. We're gonna feed the plug, or the switch, I guess, through the hole. That's what it's gonna look like on the other side. And then of course we need to get the soldering iron out of the way so I don't burn myself. Go ahead and put the washer on. It's just kind of a lock washer kind of thing. And then you want the bolt, or the nut I should say, over the top like so. And let's make sure it's getting started on there properly. And then grab the socket, and we're gonna go ahead and tighten up, then we'll go over and put it back in. All right, out here at the truck, one thing you wanna make sure you do, go ahead and put the switch in before you wire it, or you're gonna have to take it apart and do it all over again. And make sure you don't contact the wires while you're doing this, or you will activate the garage door opener. And if you're like me and you have the truck sitting underneath the door, that could be a problem. So we're gonna go ahead, it just pushes back in from the front, like so. There you heard a little bit of a snap. Always like to hear that. Now we're going to go ahead and connect the wire up. Again, making sure we don't contact the other wire while we're doing this. And then I'll just put a little bit of electrical tape over it just to keep them from contacting. And then we'll push this back in and we'll be done. So let me go ahead, get the wires up. Okay, got it all wired up, got everything taped together. Now I am so confident that it's gonna work, I'm not even gonna test it until I put it back in and pull the truck out of the garage so I don't actually activate the garage door. We'll see if that was a mistake. So to put this back in, you should be able to just push everything back in, as they say in the South, or maybe North. I don't know, they say that somewhere. But let's go ahead and reseat, and there you go. Everything is reseated. You can see the button, well, almost. Get you guys back up here. You can see the button, there you go. That's where it is. No, I'm not gonna push it, hopefully, until we get the truck out of the garage. So let me get the tools and junk out of here. We're gonna pull out and make sure that it does actually work. Moment of truth, we're outside. The garage door is up, the switch is installed. You can see the door is up right there, and the switch is right there. So let's go ahead and hit it. And there goes the garage door. Awesome. Always glad when a mod works. Now let's go ahead and let it shut all the way. And I'm gonna hit it one more time just to be sure. You know, always do things twice to make sure they really do work. Here we go. And there goes the garage door. Just a simple little mod. I mean, if your truck did not come with homelink, which mine didn't, you guys can see up here, there's no homelink and there's no hidden remote. I didn't pull a fast one on you and go ahead and hit the remote. Just something really simple to give you homelink, if you will, in essence, using the blanked out spots down here that aren't being used for anything anyway. And I actually have one more open here. This is another remote for a gate. So I have my remotes all set up, nice and hidden. By the way, the circuit boards that these are attached to are just Velcroed back there because of course you need to have access to them when you change the battery or need to change the battery. So I wanted to make sure that I could get to them pretty easily. And all I have to do is pop that panel back off, and back behind there, or even underneath, I think I put them so I can access them from below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this mod. I know I've shown it on the channel before, but it's just such a cool little mod that I wanted to show you guys where it is, and then changing out the button and how easy that is to do if by chance you need to change yours out at some point, or you want to change the color scheme on your truck just like I've done. Let me know what you think. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive MT, all about mini trucks, currently the Hyundai Santa Cruz, and RobMotive JT, all about my new Jeep Gladiator Mojave. Well, new to me anyway. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay innovative out there. Bye.